All right, you got a Chevy Traverse. You're trying to replace control arms on it. All four rears, super common to have play. Your alignment hardware stud is seized to the inner bushing of the control arms. Let me show you what I'm talking about. We'll tell you how to get them out. Here's the new control arm. Here's the metal bushing. The bolt goes through there. Rust swells, locks it in. Once it's locked in, it just tears the bushing, and your whole inner metal bushing just spins with it. The bolt doesn't go nowhere. That's the situation we have here. It's a stud on each end and nuts on each end. I already got the nuts off and the alignment shims. Make sure you mark them, put them back where they were. That way you don't have a hellacious drive to the alignment shop. So as we try to turn the stud, there's a 10mm on the end. It spins the whole metal and rubber bushing inside of the arm. So it goes nowhere. We need this to come out this way, not this way. It's encapsulated over here. So what do? First thing we do is grab some peanut butter blaster. Now that we got a little bit of lube to help us work this press-like device and the shim is out of the way, we take our nut and put it right back on there. This is threaded with a slot all the way down. That slot really builds up the rust in there. You're gonna want a ratcheting wrench for this in a 10mm to hold this still, and we're just gonna tighten it. As the nut tightens, it draws the whole stud out backwards and breaks it free, just like using a press. It'll break free from that bushing, then we'll be able to get our control arm out. Yeah, you can take a Sawzall here and buy new hardware as well if you got a Sawzall laying around. And this hardware is way overpriced. Let's do it. All right, so I started off with the ratchet here until it got really tight. After it gets tight, I can take the ratchet off because it won't spin the stud no more. And it's gonna be pretty tough at first until it really breaks free from its rust weld. But a little bit of lube really helps there to help the press action. And it will slowly draw that stud out. Fast forward.
Looking like you got an inch left.
That's what she said. We're getting somewhere. Kind of looks like Jamie's wee-wee now. Nice and stubby. Looks like, yeah, you got to put your 10mm back on because we got it broken free. I did the hard part. The really heavy cranks. Jamie's going to finish her off. You just don't want to jam your ratchet in between your CV axle there. If that gets jammed, that's a no-no. We can go with the deep well socket to get past that. What do you think? Yeah, let's go over to the parts shelf here, guys. Walk with me. And we'll hit up our 100 pack of Olsa tools. 10mm sockets. Go to olsatools.com or their Amazon store and you can get this too. So you'll never be out of 10mm. I haven't even opened up the deep yet, just got them. Ooh, shiny. Switched over to that Olsa Tools deep, and it gets you past there so you don't jam your ratchet up. This hardware stops right in the middle. There's a point where the threads stop. I think one side's gonna go this way and one would go that way. So there's a stopping point. So we got it to push through the bushing that far. That loosened everything. You see, we can't go this way because we will hit that right there, that part of the cradle. So you have to go that way. But we've drawn it out as much as we can, which means it slid that far through the bushing, so the bushing should be broken free now. No need to press anything. Word. So I got this really cool fabbed up tool right here. Unfortunately, it won't work in our situation. You put the stud through there and then put the nut back on like this. Boom. And we could use this if this piece was longer, then we would be going down here. with our air chisel. So you can fab something like this up in the future. I'm not gonna stop and fab something up just for this, but that would be pretty cool if I had one that was a little longer on that spoon and drill a hole through it. Works really good. We're just gonna flip the nut around so we had something to air chisel on. You could use a hammer and you know, a punch or a screwdriver. And we're just gonna try to draw her out of there. I'm using my broken tie rod one. Maybe not the best choice. It wants to spin on me. See if we can get this long blunt one on it. Now my nuts are twisting on me. You have the option of using a long bar on the outside, and you can just spin the stud instead of the nut. And once you hit that flat spot with no threads on it, take your original nut back off, put a bigger size nut on, washers, whatever you have laying around, to get past that barren spot of threads, and you continue pressing. And you can see we're almost, yep, we're flush here on this side. We're pressing through and it's getting a little easier. Continue to spray it down. You can see we used lots of lube. Anytime you're using a ball joint press or anything like that, you always want to lube your threads so you don't tear your threads out. We may need to put another nut there because we might hit those threads here soon. Or it might just plop out of there for us finally. There's a lot of popping and creaking. And then it got a lot easier. Bunny rabbit. What's up, Poo Poo? Come here. And basically, that's how it's done. If you want to save your hardware, if you don't want to chop them off, we're going to replace the one side. It didn't look too good, pretty rotted. So, dealership, part number. I have it ready for you if you need your anchor bolt. If you want to chop off both ends. You go to a dealership or you can order these on Rock Auto. Besides that, I don't know where else to get them. Like Napa doesn't even have them available. I was going to call my other local store and see if they had them before I went and took the long drive to the dealership. Let's see. Right here on Rock Auto, it is part number right there, 11610267. Make sure it's the right size. They were nice enough to give you all your specs on it, your lengths, all that. And I'm pretty sure all four of them are all the same for this control arm. Still got to get that one out. And then your control arm right here too. And she's out just like that. Had to use two nuts. Nice and crusty in there. You can see the crust in the threads, down the slits. That's the side where we're working back and forth, so it looks a lot cleaner. It just seizes up all down in there.